As I journey through the land, sing as I go. Morning souls of Calvary, through that crimson flow. Many arrows pierce my soul from without within. But my Lord brings me on, through Him I must win. Oh, I want to see Him, look upon His face. There to sing forever of His saving grace. On the streets of glory, there to lift my voice. There's no past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Before the billows rise from the mighty deep, then my Lord corrects my heart, He has set me deep. And He leads me gently on through this world below. He's a real friend to me, oh I love Him so. And oh I want to see Him, look upon His face. There to sing forever of His saving grace. On the streets of glory, there to lift my voice. There's no past, home at last, ever to rejoice. I'll tell you the way we used to do it. If anybody ever started shouting, we'd sing till they got through shouting. We'd sing the same chorus till they got through shouting. We wouldn't stop because we're afraid if we change tunes, it might mess up the shout. So we'd sing and shout about 10 o'clock. We'd just get started good. Lots of times we got out at about midnight at night. Brother Ashton lived out and where he lived. Out Broadmoor. And he'd get home sometime at 2 o'clock in the morning. He had to be on the job at the railroad shop by 7 o'clock in the morning. And every time he'd wake up the next morning, he'd say, "Boy, I can't go to church tonight. I'm wore out." By the time that night came, he was all worked up and he had a good night, good time. Before my wife and I married, and she was living with some people up in the Pulaski Heights. They'd go by there and pick her up, bring her to church, and take her back home, and then go on to their house. And buddy, we had church. But we didn't start at 8 o'clock. You had to farm, you get out the field from about 8 o'clock. You could start early because you had to be sundown before you could start church. And boy, it's nearly 9 o'clock by the time the sun goes down good. But we still had church. Yes. Amen. Some of the farmers here got on our case. And it's probably the truth. We'd be so tired of sleeping the next day, them old tractors, which got half to sleep. And they went to Mr. Bob Alexander, one of them, close this church down. This church was a nuisance to our community. Mr. Bob Alexander, of course, had let Papa McNair have it to build a church here, and he said, "There ain't no way in the world I'll take that church away from Walter McNair." So every one of the farmers said, "That wasn't me that did that. That wasn't me." They were ashamed to say they just wanted in on that. But some of them had to go and tell Mr. Bob, "Close that church down." Amen. Well, a lot of people never did come. Mr. Cutter Gibbs, he lived right here by us, and I'd invite him to church, and he'd say, "Now, Merle, I know I can promise you I'm going to come and get you off my back, but I ain't going to promise you because I know I ain't coming." I said, "Well, I appreciate you being honest." But when he died, he had requests that his spirit would be in this church. This old church has seen a lot in its time. We've seen a lot of good times and a lot of bad times. Through it all, God's been so good to us. Yes. And I'm glad we're still here. Right. I'm not saying I'm glad the Lord had already come, but I really am kind of proud of that because we got time to get some more of our loved ones in. Yes. And I think we ought to work harder and make more telephone calls than we usually do to try to get people back in church. Right. If we could get our backsliders back to church, we'd have a house full. Yes, just get our backsliders come back to God. And if we get all fired up like we need to be fired up, then sometimes that spirit will draw them people. Right. Amen. So sometimes we just get old. We got the good part down inside, but it just don't come out as loud and as powerful as it used to.